Alright, gonna hopefully recover a little bit here. I played a session earlier. Started with a buy-in of 200k and lost 104 of it. I was in Skype with Josh, and Josh was bothering me, telling me to race with him. I didn't have a problem with it. I was just like, I told him if I lose okay, that table's full. If I told him if I lose 100k, then I'll race with him, and lo and behold, I did lose 100k. I think I was only up once on the session. Yeah, I was only up once on the session, and that time I was up about 15k. So my highest point was 215.5, I think. And then my lowest obviously was dropping down below. I was trying to get it back up. I think I got up to about 165 at one point, where I only lost 35, and then I just slowly dipped down, and then stopped the bleeding. So see if I can join a table tonight that's got a decent amount of people on it. Here we go. See if we can get in before the next hand. Got in. And we're starting with Jack 5. Just check it. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get a little bit of a better session here today, or like right now. Taking a look at the chip stacks. I got Duke now on my left. Wow, look at that. Jackson 5's on the flop. And I'm just going to bet pot. Since it's not that big of a pot, it's 5,000. And I'm probably going to have people call really light. Really loose. Turn card's a spade. If a river card's another spade, I'm probably going to back off. Unless, of course, it's like the jack of spades, in which case I wouldn't. But I'm going to bet just over half pot. And Nani's been snap calling, and there is no spade, so. But there's 3 hearts on the board. And that scares me. So I'll bet half pot. Okay, he didn't snap call, so he's either raising. Okay, he folds. So we're off to a good start. That's something. And this will be just folding. Jack 10, not really good. So that's good. That at least gets me started on the right foot. And whether or not I lose a lot this is going up on YouTube or something. Probably Facebook I might just edit it and actually put it up on YouTube. Since it's 15-minute video length, I gotta edit it and put it up in parts. But with the hearts on the board, the way Nani was snap calling on the flop and turn with my, against 2 pair, I assumed that he could have possibly had a draw. He could have had a spade draw on the turn or something, or he could have had a small pair and he was trying to see what happened, or he had a spade or something. He had 2 spades, and if he had 2 spades, he missed his draw in the end, and then he might have thought I had a flush, considering I kept betting the flop and turn. But, in that spot, I mean, it was kind of obvious that I needed to bet. Get out of this. Get out of those. And I would have had trip 10s. Yay. Oh, sigh. And Jason goes all in. He probably, Ty goes all in as well. Devin calls. Bar in. See if he snap shoves. Nope. He had ace king, queen jack. He didn't even have a pair. Ty had the same hand I had, so he wins 90k. So, yeah, we would have split. Alright, ace 8, small, medium ace. Probably play this a little bit aggressive. We got Loretta to my left, and we got Duke to my right. Both of them have had at least 5 mil. Duke's had 10 mil before, so he's either bought his chips or he's a really good player. And he's just on a downturn. But I mean, considering that, we'll just check here. We got the pair, so I'll probably bet like 3,000 or 4,000. But I mean, you can buy chips in this game, and that's kind of that kind of throws you off. It tell you whether or not a player's good or not. But if a guy has like a million chips or something, you can't tell if he's bought those chips or if he's earned them the hard way. I've obviously earned my chips the hard way. I mean, I don't buy chips. It's just a waste of money. It's just not something I do. So everybody's been folding around. I'm guessing no one hit that board. Barent's taking his time here, so he may have hit the board and he's trying to decide what he wants to do. The thing I'm obviously scared of here is if he has top 2 pair, or if he has just top pair. Okay, he folds. And Duke calls. He didn't snap call, so he almost... It wasn't an insta call, but... I'll once again bet this. I might check it on the end and see what he does, since I've got position on... Or might check it down here. If he checks it here, yeah, if he checks it, I'll bet third of the pot. I'm not going to slow down. I'll bet a third of the pot. He's getting 4-1 on his money now. It's a quick call. He may have hit him. He may have got there. Yeah, he had it on the flop, so. Sigh. Lost all the money I got. I almost lost every single bit that I had on that I got in that first pot. Sigh. Maybe a sign of things to come. Watching NFL Network right now. Jay Leno's going to be on in a couple minutes. Figure I get a poker video in. Hopefully I can get back up towards 600K. And this will just call 500 more. Hopefully Loretta checks. I mean, like I said, Loretta's got 5 million chips, and she could just be spewing them all away, or... I mean, it depends. And she's lagging, taking her sweet time. And she folds itself. Wow, that's a good hand. Alright, I'm going to bet half pot here, considering we probably got a bunch of loose players around. Actually, they've been playing pretty tight. If someone hit an ace, obviously, that would be really key. It would be really good for me. If somebody came back over the top, I'd obviously snap call. Alright, snap reshove. Okay. If somebody hits their spade on the turn, I'll just bet pot. Ty's got 85.5, so it's going to cost him roughly 1/7 of his stack. I think I'm getting that right. Yeah, about 1/7 of his stack, and he folds. So that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted, obviously. I wanted him to call and see the river, but... Whatever. Sigh. I mean, I guess I could have slow played that and hope he bet. But considering that he could have been loose. He could have been really loose, and I could have, obviously that would have been awesome if he was. And if he would have hit his ace, that would have been really good. Especially if he would have hit trip aces, he'd be up against my straight, and that's a good flop. Backdoor wheel. I'll again c-bet this. And Jason reshoved, or he not reshoved, he snap raised. He snap min raised. Which tells me something. Tells me that he either hit his flush or he's trying to pretend like he has it. Alright, I'll just check on the turn here and see what he does, since I've got position on him. He ships. 21,000, I'll see a river. And I hit my flush on the end. I have the higher flush. He had his king on the flop, so that's why he snap called. It was worth it seeing with a draw. I mean, it could have been technically a bad play, but I really got lucky there, and it was only 21,000, which is just over 1/10 of my stack, so I had him covered, obviously. And in any circumstance, he could have been like really, really loose, and he could have just snapped min raised like on the flop with nothing, to try and get me to fold off of a marginal hand or like a small pair or something. But obviously, since this is Facebook poker, that's probably not going to happen. But still, it could have been that way, and he could have been trying, he's like trying to say that he's got himself a good hand. So I'm up 40K already. If I can get up over 100K, that'd be really sweet. Make up for the loss from make up for the loss from earlier today. Okay, and this will be just folding. We'll just fold. But yeah, like that call was really loose, and I could have easily folded that, and obviously I hit my flush, but you know, he had his king, and the only thing, like, I was pretty much dead to a club or an ace. Lo and behold, the ace hit on the end, but it still was a really loose call, and I'll be the first to admit that. And Vicky just overbet the pot huge. She probably hit her Broadway. If Duke calls, he didn't snap call, so yeah, he's just gonna fold. Jack 7, I like suited hands, so I'm probably gonna play this. But yeah, that hand was in its, like, it was a really loose call, and I'll be the first to admit that. It was a really loose call. I could have possibly played that differently. I could have possibly just folded that. But I felt in that circumstance, he could have been re-raised. He could have been shoving really light. Like, really light. He could have been shoving with, like, you know, he could have been shoving like a pair of fives or something. Or he could have been shoving, I mean, that kind of situation. He was short stacked to start with. He had 21,000 at that point, so when he snapped min raised, that sent off something like he had something, possibly. But in that circumstance, I'm just like, you know what? Give it a shot. It's not like it's gonna hurt. It's 21K, so I'll just check. Got 5 people at this table. And Edgardo bets 6 grand. I have a backdoor flush and nothing else, so I'll just fold. But yeah, that could have been, I could have folded that, and that wouldn't have been a bad play, but I wanted to see what would happen, you know, because I like playing flush draws, and 21K with just a draw isn't exactly a top-notch call, but in that circumstance, it was only 10% of my stack, just over. It was about maybe 11-12% of my stack, probably. 21K into 200,000. Or just under 200K, so it was a little bit over 10% of my stack, probably closer to 15%, and it would have obviously been, you know, a lot easier, obviously, if I had just played that. Okay, this hand we're gonna pop it to 5,000 because Edgardo over here's been playing really loose. He's been betting everything. So we'll pop it to, actually we'll pop it up 5 more, 6 grand. But Edgardo over here's been playing really loose, and he just folds. Probably gonna get everybody to fold. Baharin's been playing pretty loose. He's been calling everything. And he folds. Ooh, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna pop it to 3 and try and get some interest here. Edgardo, knowing him, he might reshove, or he might re-raise. And there he goes. And in this circumstance, I think I'll re-pop it to like 17,000 or something. Just to show him, hey, I'm not gonna... Well, more than double his raise. With pocket aces, I've obviously got the best hand. He could be having like pocket queens or something. He could be having like a small pair. Okay, that's not a good flop. Oh, it's 2 diamonds, so someone could be drawing. And this one I'll just call. And that's not a bad turn. Got the ace of clubs, but that doesn't really help. And Baharin, yeah, I figured he'd shove. He may have a pair of kings or something, or he could have 2 pair. And Edgardo calls, which means he's obviously hit this board. Ooh. I think I'll just check it down. Since generally with a side pot, you check things down. And hopefully I didn't lose my money. Sick. Sick. That just made up for everything earlier tonight. That was sick. Just put me up over 700K. I think I'll keep playing too. Yeah, I hoped I was going to do well on that one. I was hoping I was going to do well in this session because obviously I got a lane over here that just joined. See what her stack size is. 700K. Just under 700. Duke over here. It took a long time to fold. I mean, Nani again. He's been pretty loose. That's easy check. That board's really... I mean, he could have like he could have he could have pocket aces, and I just don't know that. And he insta shove. He didn't insta shove. He